With my teaching, I'm always trying to find better ways to connect with my kids and improve my practice so that everyone's learning. And it began as a whole school approach. We had someone come in and film our teaching for about 3 minutes, and then I got to watch that footage and reflect on my teaching practice and how the students were engaged. And some of the things that I noticed was maybe the physical proximities of where some students were or where my line of sight wasn't optimised as best as it could be. And so I made those changes. From there, I started getting other teachers coming into my room, and they were filming me during explicit lessons, and so then I could reflect on those. And now, as a part of my practice, I often have the students video me during the explicit parts of lessons, so I can then reflect on that and make any changes that I need to. Some of the things that I'm seeing in my classroom as a result of this filming that I'm doing is that students have become more resilient. Do you agree, Kaylee?
I agree.
They continue on from setbacks and don't get discouraged as easily. Students have also become really confident in the ability to share and talk about strategies that they're using in the classroom, and they'll share these strategies to help other students with their learning as well. Students have really grasped the concept of how important their learning is, and they've really taken that on board, and they're showing that they believe what they're learning in the classroom is really important, and they're really showing they're connecting with it. Well, can you prove that to me and then photograph your evidence? For me, it's also reinforced, I think, the importance of having that one learning outcome for lessons. Some lessons it's important not to get sidetracked and take the learning down another path, whereas some of those kids that are just maybe getting the math concept that you're teaching, they're not ready for that. And so sometimes I think it's really important that you do stick to that one learning outcome and just be specific. I know that there's a strategy that works because it continues to reveal new things about my practice and also about my students' learning. It's become a part of my teaching routine and it's now embedded. How about the inside?
Like, I don't know what it's called in the inside and I want to find out.
It keeps me continually being reflective about my practice. One example of how I've used the videoing to reflect on my teaching practice is this year I've been doing a lot of the Anne Baker math strategies and also the cafe reading strategies. And those require a lot of explicit teaching of things to the students. And I find that if I get a student to record that 10-minute when I'm doing that explicit teaching, I can really reflect back on making sure that I'm consistent with the language, that I'm making sure to include everyone in the learning process and make adjustments to my teaching. Yesterday in maths, I got a big brown piece of paper and drew a triangle and said to the students, what can you tell me about this shape? And they all came up with different answers. The first little girl put her hand up and told me it has 3 angles. And then the next told me it was the roof on a house. We got 2 triangles makes a diamond and different examples. And so we wrote them all up and I said to the students, now you need to go and prove it.
I'm going to say that it's got 3 straight lines and 3 corners. And then I'm going to go and photo it and then I'll do another one. These are all triangles. Triangles can be bigger, and this one goes there to there, so this one's bigger.
So you've got the iPads there, photograph all the evidence that you have, because we'll come back and reflect on it at the end. So the students used pop sticks, made it out of paper, it didn't matter how they did it, and then we went through at the end and we looked on the iPads and made sure that we had proven everything that they'd told me.